gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin' every time an episode is dropping. We see D3 in the corner, Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut, always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, Matt the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back. And we are back with Strawhat Sitdown episode 36.
Yep, 36.
Yes, 36. I knew that. I was testing y'all in the past. Congratulations. We are here with the Strawhat Sitdown crew as of usual. That boy Mr. G in the building. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's good, everybody? Yo, real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out. My parents are getting remarried. Got remarried on Friday.
Hey.
Happy birthday to my fiance tomorrow.
Hey.
And also, shout outs to my sister and Diana and Pam for setting up the surprise bridal shower yesterday. So, and also the paint and sip, which was fantastic. Thank you guys.
W.
Thank you.
W shout outs. W shout outs. Shout outs to all those people. I don't remember them.
Thank you,
Shout them out to all of them. All right. Strawhat Mod, what's going on, my brother?
What's good? I'm excited I'm in my new room, and
Okay.
you know, this setup and everything. Still getting it together.
Yo,
But,
are your colors changing right now?
Yep.
Yo, that shit is mixing me. That's sick.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like I got my wife. She's been planning this for years, and like. We basically got a second room that we haven't utilized, and now we've been utilizing it. It's going to be a full-fledged game room for both of us, and I got RGB lights and everything. So
that's sick for you, man. Good shit.
Yeah, so it's going to be, you're going to see more things to come when it's all put together.
Upgrades, baby. We only going up. Let's
love
go.
to see it. Love to see it. YHuss, not last this time.
Not last this time. It's the cameras. That's why. So
because D3 doesn't have his camera on. You're right.
Yeah. Finally, I'm in on the stream. I'm in the top 3 now. I'm part of the monster trio. Let's go.
Yo, you love to see it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Insane chapter. There's so much to talk about. I'm gonna be a nerd this chapter, which is one of the ones I love. That I can just nerd out. So
yeah, it's always dope when we have a lot to talk about. We can really get in depth about the stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Last but not least, D3 this time. What's going on, my brother?
Yo, I'm chilling, brother. I'm chilling. I'm just ready to talk about this chapter, man. This shit was crazy.
All right, yeah. This shit was hectic.
I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Mister's gonna do his review as per usual, and then we're gonna just jump right in. So whenever you're ready, brother.
All right, let's get it. We got One Piece chapter 1060, Luffy's Dream. The chapter opens up aboard the Thousand Sunny, with Luffy in disbelief that Sabo would kill King Cobra. Robin agrees, noting that the revolutionaries are anti-world government, not anti-royalty. Luffy wants to go to Alabasta immediately, and when corrected by Zoro that Vivi was last seen in Marijoa, he opts to go there instead, not hiding from any smoke at all. The two continue bickering as the rest of the crew reacts to the news. We then see that Caribou is locked up in a barrel and is trying to eavesdrop on the Straw Hats' conversation. As support to go after Vivi grows, Zoro speaks up and reminds Luffy that he trusted Ace up until the point he was really in need. So why not give Vivi the same benefit of the doubt? Those worrying about Vivi give Zoro a lot of grief, but everyone agrees to move on. Robin summarizes the wild developments that occurred while the crew was in Wano. Luffy still can't believe Buggy is an emperor. She goes on to say that there are other names that Luffy would recognize on the paper and asks if he wants to hear the news about them. Luffy declines, saying he'll leave it up to Robin to decide what's big enough to monitor. Luffy lays down on the turf of the Thousand Sunny, restating Sabo's innocence. He reminisces on his and his brother's goals from when they swore an oath as children. Though the reader doesn't get to hear it, Luffy tells the crew the secret dream he told Ace and Sabo, and that he coincidentally shares with Roger. The crew is utterly shocked, with reactions ranging from disbelief, being stunned, and laughter. Usopp tells them there's no way anyone can do that, but Luffy believes he'll have a shot if he becomes the king of the pirates. Luffy reveals that he has only told Ace, Sabo, and Shanks. When Robin asks what their reactions were, Luffy says that they all laughed, and Shanks even had tears rolling down his face. With a peaceful face, Luffy states, "That's what I want at the end of my dream." Jinbei laughs so hard he cries, joking that he has picked a troublesome captain. Chopper and Nami applaud Luffy's dream, saying how amazing it is, and that it's just like him. Frankie reminds the crew that since Luffy has to be Pirate King, to even make that possible, they'll have to find the last road poneglyph. Robin replies that he's making it sound easy since it's been so long since the poneglyph was last seen, and that they don't even have a clue on where to go from here. The scene then flips to Marine headquarters. Returning to the transmission they intercepted between Sabo and the Revolutionary HQ back in chapter 1058. The Marines scramble to locate the signal, eventually pinpointing its origin to Lulusia Kingdom. We then see the Gorosei are listening in on the Navy's call. We also see Imu walking in Pangaea Castle. Upon hearing that Sabo is Lulusia, which they confirmed as one of the 8 rebelling kingdoms, one of the Gorosei calls him unlucky, but another corrects him, saying this is fate. Sabo updates the revolutionaries on what happened and apologizing for causing so much trouble. He specifically told Dragon that he is not the one who killed King Cobra, and that while he was in Marijoa, he witnessed something unbelievable. At the same time, the citizens of Lulusia Kingdom notice the sky is getting a bit darker, almost like something huge was above the clouds. We see the king and the princess of Lulusia are held captive. The king, Seki, states that when the Navy gets word of this, all the rebels will be impaled. The guard asks Seki to simply confess to his crimes, and that they won't want to kill them. Sabo continues over the phone that what he saw happen in the throne room at Pangaea Castle, which makes someone listening decide to cut the signal to the Marine Surveillance Division's transponder snails. Sabo states, "I thought there was no king of the world, but the empty throne wasn't empty. I saw." Then silence. From there, the conclusion of the world government's decision is communicated. As far as the Surveillance Division is concerned, no one detected anything abnormal today, and no information was intercepted. As for Lulusia, that country never existed. The citizens, noticing a shadow above the clouds, the sky begins to illuminate, and 16 beams of light rain down on Lulusia, utterly destroying it. The revolutionaries are left in the dark as they are yelling out, "Sabo-kun? Sabo-kun?" as the line dies. We shift back to the Straw Hats a few days later as they're sailing through a winter sea. Nami confirmed they've entered an island's climate zone. Luffy notices a giant sphere of water, which Nami calls an eddy current. Luffy realizes that someone's trapped in the water, and Sanji agrees, saying he could hear a damsel in distress. Zoro decides to cut it, which he successfully does. At the same time, Chopper comes out with his hat on, which catches the wind and whisks him away. Luffy grabs on, but the wind current lifts him up as well, and they're both blown away. Right at the same time, to everyone's surprise, from within the ball of water, popped out a kid version of Jewelry Bonnie on board the Straw Hat ship. End of chapter, no break.
God damn.
Ooh.
Oh man, that was long.
Yeah, that was definitely a long one.
Even writing the summary, I was like, shit, this shit is long as fuck.
Yeah.
Definitely a
Oh
lot
man.
going on. What do y'all want to start?
I guess
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go from the
starting
top. Let's pull it
Yeah,
up.
when I feel like in these chapters where there's a lot going on, we don't know where we might as well just take it from the top
Yeah,
and like work our way
yeah.
down. So yeah, we started out, you know, obviously no one believes that Sabo actually murdered the king and whatnot.
Yep,
It's really nice to have these interactions with the Straw Hat crew again, with them just goofing off,
Bro,
It's been
hanging
so
out,
long.
yeah,
so much.
just chilling
Yeah.
on the sunny. It's definitely a very nice scene. You know, one thing, I forgot Caribou was on the ship, or I didn't know Caribou was on the ship. Was this? How did that happen?
Is this?
He's been on the ship since Fishman Island, right?
Nah,
Well,
nah.
not like nah.
He was in Wano prison.
Yeah, he was in Wano prison before. He was like, yeah, they left Fishman, and then he was on.
Technically, the cover story went like this. He basically got booted from Fishman Island by Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, and then got smacked up by Peckham's. He left, right? But then I believe he was like captured by
I think Jimbei.
revolutionaries.
Yeah, I think Jimbei sends him to prison.
Yeah, and then he was in that town where the revolutionaries were, right?
Mhm.
And he was getting in trouble with them, and then he got bounced off that island, and then he ended up on Wano,
Yeah.
and you know he got scooped by X Drake, and then you know he got in Wano prison. So if you notice too, he's in chains. So
Yeah.
he got captured again. That's how like I feel
sense.
like they didn't show it, but he just got captured again by Luffy.
And I think in 1057 or 8, there was a barrel that Chopper and Usopp were looking at, and people thought some coping ass niggas thought Carrot was in there, but then they show that Caribou's in this barrel and he's locked up. And I love that they didn't even show them capturing him or anything. Like they didn't spend any time on them discovering him. It's like, oh, this nigga's in here. Oh, he's locked up now.
Yeah, especially
Right.
now because they
Exactly.
all like, feel senses and shit. You know, they're like, this motherfucker's over here again, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yo, lock up this bitch ass, yo.
Right.
Caribou's in. You forget that nigga. Yeah, the crew's having fun. No one. I think this is a good this is a reminder of Zoro being the lieutenant. Like
Yes,
he's telling Luffy, he's like, bro,
keeping
like-
it real.
see sense here, bro. Like, be reasonable, right?
Right. So when he tells them, they're all upset about how nobody knows about VV's status.
Mhm.
He definitely has to step up and be second in command.
bad guy.
Everybody know, you know, they gotta keep it pushing. There's nothing we can really do. I feel like it's a little bit unfair to compare Vivi to Ace, because Ace was this
Agreed.
second in commander of
Yeah.
one of the strongest pirate crews on the planet, and
Yeah.
Vivi is a princess. So I feel like he was being a little bit unfair, but I
But,
get what
I
he's
mean,
saying.
yeah.
I feel like that goes to show. I feel like that goes to show you his respect for her, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like, cause they saw what she went through, you know, and like how she stepped up and everything like that in Alabasta. And I'm sure
And
she's
she
grown
was a
even
pirate.
more
She
in those
was a
2
pirate
years.
before they met him. She was on Crocodile's, or a pirate. She was a criminal technically, right?
Yeah.
She was
you
in
know,
Organization
She was fighting
whatever,
and shit. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
about to say Organization 13. Oh my god.
My goodness, said over enough.
Yo, let's go, Kingdom Hearts fan. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, don't kill me, man.
Yo,
I love
they're
it.
fire though. I love that
Yeah.
organization.
Big time.
Also, real quick, just go back, Callie. Could you go back up to where they were making fun of Zoro? Like, I thought that was a great callback.
It made me laugh
because-
so hard.
Yeah, because if you remember at the end of Alabasta, when they were when they left BB, they were all depressed, and Zoro was also back then the voice of reasoning, like, guys, get a grip. And they all made fun of him, even though he brought up good points.
Yeah.
And here he brings up good points, but they still don't like it so they make fun of him. I think that's great.
Bro, it's so funny.
like-
Cause yo, Zoro be acting. You know, he's known as like the musclehead, kind of sometimes like the idiot, right? But in these times, that he steps up and knows exactly what to say.
He's the
Keep
goat,
everyone
bro.
on
He's
track,
the
bro.
goat, bro.
Like he
And-
like with the Usopp thing, with this, you know, like many situations. When they were fighting in Punk Hazard, right? And then they're having a hard time, and he yells at Luffy, like, "This is just the beginning. After a 2-year training, and we can't handle these guys. Like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I wish I could remember the exact words. Like the exact words were like actually.
He said- he said basically take it. I'm still kind of paraphrasing, but he basically said, Luffy, we need to actually take it seriously. We're in the new world, so you know,
like
basically.
Something about like what have these last 2 years been if we're struggling here pretty much, you know what I mean? And like what I love, like Zoro, like that's my dude, yo, keeping it real with everyone, and he's not afraid to be the bad guy, and you know, and like it's so funny, yo, especially that panel with the 4 of them. That shit's hilarious.
I love about that panel that they're all making fun of him, but he only tells Sanji to shut up.
Yep.
Because Sanji, because you know what's so funny about that panel? Sanji is literally using the exact same.
He's not being anything.
So you know what it feels like? It feels like this is just a moment for Sanji to just dogpile Zoro. He's like, oh, everyone else making fun of him? Okay, wait. Boss in, like type thing, like
yo, and how they're making fun of him by calling him a demon, and also Kaido and
the Green Mom made me chuckle.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, like that was actually pretty good. And then also Luffy's face when Zoro told him, he was like, I love that face because he's like, all right, nigga, like, all right, like, look,
he's like, you're right, I guess. I'm not trying to remember.
That is a perfect face for like someone like Luffy, because you gotta think like Luffy and Nami and the rest of the crew, they're more like Zoro is, like you said, Mr. It's a meathead, but the fact that Luffy would like back and Nami would bat for their friends and stuff like that, like it's always on deck. So you know, so when Zoro is over here like, listen guys, we need to calm down, Luffy's like, all right nigga, all right my G, like I see you but I don't feel you, I see you but like
That's exactly that face he made.
You got it.
Yeah, like right. So I love that. I love that whole interaction.
And then so Robin continues with like the developments or whatever, a bit of a recap, and then like Luffy says fuck Buggy. I don't like Buggy doesn't
all regular stuff. But
then this I hate this shit, bro. He's like Luffy's like Robin talks about like the other familiar names. Like, you want to hear it? It's like Luffy's like, nah. But then Oda like speaks to us. He's like, I wouldn't want to overload you with information with what Robin says on the left. And it's like, dude, Oda, come on, give us all the info, bro. Come on, please, bro. Please.
Give us all of it right now.
Yeah.
Do y'all think there's anything that on that paper that she's talking about when she says other names and stuff like that? Do you think it's anything we don't already know?
I think so. I think so. It has to be.
Because I kind of think so, but another part of me thinks that there is like, okay, you know, like how the viewers been seeing all the stuff with Blackbeard, Kobe, Boa Hancock.
Oh, maybe.
I think that.
Wait, real quick. Do you think Robin doesn't know about the connection with Kobe and Luffy? No.
No, Robin was at his lobby at the end when Kobe came with Garp, so she knows they're homies.
Okay, okay. I was just thinking, like, what if she sees the, you know, like...
He's like, why would Luffy care? Yeah, I know what you mean. She knows. So, that's a good point, Blackbeard.
Blackbeard is insane.
Hey, nah, I feel like I got the black beard.
Yeah, you got the nice beard, man. You got the nice beard, that's why. But yeah, no, I didn't even consider that. I thought we were getting hoed, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, at first I thought so too, but then I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, we've been getting overloaded with mass information ourselves. Yes. So, if maybe that's the information she's referring to, and Luffy is just like, nah, I don't care. So, because here's the thing, Luffy probably would be very shocked if he knew that Kobe was took it,
or that Blackbeard attacked Boy Hancock's island.
Right, exactly.
Really,
so
technically, this is big, honestly.
Right. So I don't think Robin is necessarily speaking to the viewer. I don't think Oda's using Robin to speak to the viewer. I think he's literally writing Robin to speak to Luffy, because the thing is, Luffy would technically be overloaded. The kidnapping of Vivi, the kidnapping of Kobe, the dealing of Boa Hancock, that's a lot to overload someone when it comes to people you're close to. So
that's a good point.
I do think it is a little bit of a slap in the face, though. For
a little bit, like, just don't mention it, bro.
Yeah, like, just don't say anything. Like, you know, you have more that you want to tell us, and you're letting us know it's there, but we can't know yet. Like,
but no, that's a good point.
I see both sides, though.
Yeah, I just think that it's just. I was just gonna say that all I think is just that, like, Oda's just preventing Luffy from being overloaded with emotional trauma.
Yeah, and it's probably a good way for, like.
I think you're right, Strawhat.
it's probably a good way for us to understand why Luffy doesn't really know that Kobe got kidnapped yet. Like, I get it. Like, you understand. Yeah. But I think one of the biggest moments, like, so far in this whole arc is Luffy saying, like, this is so big that he told them all. Like,
it's finally told them his dream.
All of them his dream, and
I must say, that Luffy face is like my favorite Luffy panel. Like, I think
with him
ever,
just
bro.
laying down. Yeah.
It's my promotion on everything now, bro. Discord, Twitter. It's like I had to, bro. It's so.
That's
so nice, dude.
He looks so peaceful.
I definitely would like to get that tattoo. I'm not gonna lie, that shit's nice.
I'll fuck with that, bro.
But what this whole chapter just has some epic ass single panels. You know what I mean? Like, especially we're gonna see later on. But like, this Luffy one is absolutely beautiful. And then with all the Straw Hats reaction, including the Thousand Sunny, you know, so like that shit was real nice.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm really glad that this happened because, like, before when we hear about Luffy and Roger's dream, we only saw like a few people hear it, right? It's like Ace and Sabo, and then Whitebeard and Odin, and then we know that Yamato and Shanks heard it. Well, we saw Yamato read it, but we know Shanks heard it from Luffy and Roger.
Yes, you're right.
So
you're right.
And technically, Rayleigh probably has to know, right? Because Shanks was telling Rayleigh that he said the same thing that Roger said. So we only know a few people's we only know that a few people know it, and we only saw like 4 people's reactions to it.
Yes.
So to have literally 9 more people react to it is like,
Mad
okay, now we have a bit more of a range in which to like kind of understand it.
You get an idea, yeah.
Yeah, it's still. I think it's still impossible to guess. Like
100%.
Actually,
I've done so much thinking, and Ahmad, if you blow my mind, I have so much faith in you, but like. I really tried. I was like, what the heck?
Bro.
No, I'm not trying to guess the Luffy dream thing. I was going to chime in on the whole reaction thing because the thing is, we technically never actually saw Shanks' reaction to. Honestly, I didn't even know before this chapter that he actually told Shanks his full-fledged dream. I thought before this chapter, literally the only people that knew were Sabo and Ace.
Same.
Okay, so I thought
he never
actually. Yamato
and Yamato, but like
we know
I didn't
that
know
because in Rayleigh, I don't know when it was, if it was pre-time skip or right after time skip, but he thinks back to when Shanks came to the island, like at some point before Luffy went out, and Shanks tells Rayleigh, he's like, "Yo, I met this kid." Oh, he's like, what did you do the Straw Hat? He's like, oh, I gave it to this kid. He said the same thing that Roger said back in the day.
Yeah. But
it was a bit of an assumption.
Yeah. Because here's the thing though. He said the thing was back then, like if you think about it from that perspective, all we knew was that he said the same stuff that Roger said, but we didn't know what Roger said either.
Yeah, so we didn't
know till Wano that he said the same thing that Luffy said.
Of course.
We still didn't know. So the fact that like, you know, it was his firm confirmation right here that he told exactly what, you know, he told every Sabo and Ace and stuff is it changes things for me because now I am kind of convinced that he it's orchestrated for the Nika for him to get it because here's the thing. I don't know at what point he told him that. It could have been before the Nika fruit, and it could have been after, but I feel like it was before. Because now it's just like, that would make so much sense as to like how, you know, why he got the Nika and why, you know, he gave him the Straw Hat and stuff. Because from the order of events, it was like, okay, you know, Shanks came there, you know, he spent some time there. And during all that time, he could have, you know, Luffy could have told him his dream. Then we got the bar scene. Then you get, you know, him kidnapped. Or it could have even, actually, you know what? It could have even still been an accident. But it could have been after he gave him the Nika fruit. Or, I mean, not gave him, but he accidentally ate it. And then that in-between time frame between the bar scene and Luffy getting kidnapped, that he could have told him his dream then, too.
Yeah.
So it just opens my eyes a little bit more as to like the possibility that dream influenced Shanks' decision on at least the fruit, not the Straw Hat itself per se. Because either way, we know it was before he gave him the Straw Hat that he told him that dream. So
true.
I think that's just very interesting.
I completely agree.
I also really like that this also gives the Straw Hat crew like further insight on Luffy, right? Now they know where he's coming from, like what he's aspiring to.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having to guess like what he wants at the end, like it's not just being Pirate King, and you know, gives us a more the audience a more understanding of him. Well, even though we still don't know it yet, but
I don't think it is.
So yeah, and that, and also like we all know the crew for the most part seem on board because like they all seemed like to like be you know in admiration of him, you know, like if you look at Robin and Nami, I feel like the only one that was like I feel like maybe bothered might have been Zoro, but
the reactions like Usopp, Jinbei, Zoro,
yeah,
were kind of like the like.
It's like wait a second.
Like
yeah.
They're
a little shook.
Robin too is like stunned.
Yeah. But
I feel like to me it sounds like it looked to me like she's heard that before. That's why they had the ... Like
oh man,
like
I kind of get that from her face. Like it's like not something. It's like something big to her. Man, I love Sonny's reaction the most. It's like someone kind of like out.
What's wrong with my captain, man? What's wrong with this guy?
Something's wrong with this guy. But
real quick before we move on, I saw this post on Twitter that I wanted to bring up here. It was a theory that somebody had, is that because he has now told all of his crewmates about his dream, this person on Twitter would speculate that the last crewmate would be somebody who already knows the dream.
Yamato.
AKA Yamato.
yeah.
Just something to think about.
That is something to think about.
That's why, you know, I do think Yamato's gonna show up before, like, to join them before everything is said and done, you know, and then after that we get the full.
Yeah, 100%. I can definitely see it. Yeah.
Well, let's not move on. I feel like there's so much more to talk about.
Let's get into it.
What do y'all think the Luffy's dream could be, though?
What do we think? What do I think Luffy's? You know, I remember we were going over theories. One of the theories had a really good one that I liked. It was that his dream was to have a big ass party with the entire world, or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked that. That's always been my favorite.
Yeah, I like that.
Like it just fits.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I don't necessarily think it's that personally, but I can see why other people, you know, I think it's a plausible theory, but I don't think that's what it is necessarily.
Yeah, why, I wouldn't either. Why? I also don't have anything to say against it.
Yeah, because I don't think that saying that warrants a shock, like the way Jinbei and Zoro and
Zoro would have laughed at him if he said some shit like that.
Yeah, like I felt like that was like kind of like some of them looked kind of low key worried, and Jinbei say I followed a I have a troublesome captain. How is that troublesome?
Okay,
like you know what I mean?
I can see that train of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even Robin's reaction kind of goes to that as well. I feel like that is something. Robin has a funny sense of humor. She would find that hilarious. Like, it's like,
yeah.
So I think it has to be something like, because you know what I think the big limiting factor is that it has to be something a kid would think of too.
Yeah.
And that's hard to just juxtapose with like what the Pirate King can do. I think it's also big that we heard this is that in this chapter, like Luffy and I think some like Usopp and Frankie agreed that like he has to be the Pirate King to have a chance at that. Which is like, what does that even mean, right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are missing one important thing. Yeah, like I think because of the fact that we're meta One Piece fans, so we think of theories and meta analyze the story. That because of the fact that we already subscribe to the red line being destroyed and bringing the world together theory, that we think that inherently Luffy's talking about, you know, a party with the world and stuff like that. But here's the thing, like you would need like in order for, apparently to unite. If you subscribe to the red line theory, then that means you would think that Luffy would need the One Piece to do it. But Luffy doesn't necessarily need the One Piece. If there was some other type of prerequisite to be the Pirate King, Luffy is trying to be the Pirate King. Which, if you catch what I'm saying if there was some other way to be Pirate King outside of the One Piece, Luffy would go that route. Because he needs the freedom of being Pirate King. He doesn't necessarily need the One Piece to do his dream. He needs the title. So because of that, I feel like because we subscribe to the whole red line being destroyed thing, and we think Luffy wants to have a party with the world, he doesn't need the One Piece to have a party with the world. He just needs the title. You know what I mean? So he doesn't think about destroying the red line or nothing like that, or at least we don't think he's thinking like that because he's never shown that type of thought. So why would we subscribe to him that he wants to have a party with the world if he hasn't shown interest with the entire world like that? He just wants freedom to do whatever he wants. And whatever
why
he
would
wants.
Kid Luffy care about the geography of the world? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or know about the segregation that comes from the government. I know at that point he meant Sabo, but still, right?
Yeah, that's what we, the readers, probably care about, is Sabo and the revolutionaries, but Luffy, not really. He hasn't shown the only time that Luffy bats, like I remember that one theory that what's his name posted in the chat with the moon theory.
That one didn't really make that much sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, the moon theory is not, I don't think that's it either, but there was one point in that theory that I think people overlooked, is the fact that Luffy doesn't necessarily care about the world. He doesn't want to be a hero. He doesn't particularly care about everybody in the same sense. He cares about his friends and who his friends care about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where his line of thing is. I mean, we remember back in Alabasta when Vivi wanted to stop the revolution war from breaking out and everything. Luffy stopped Vivi and said, we need to handle actually the main source, which is Crocodile, because here's the thing, Vivi, people die every day. We can't stop that. So, you know, if Luffy was that sympathetic with like the plights of every single person around the world, I feel like he would have had that line of reasoning, right? That's why Crocodile and Luffy, when they were talking, Crocodile was saying to Luffy, like, yeah, Vivi's a child, because she thinks, like, isn't it crazy to think that she thinks that she could stop this entire world? And Luffy even agreed with Crocodile. He was like, yeah, I kind of think so too, because she's kind of naive that she thinks that people won't die. And he was laughing about it. So, you know, Luffy, he cares, but he's not like trying to save the entire world or stuff. So that's why I don't subscribe to the whole party theory thing, because I feel like in order to do, you would have to think Luffy cares about the world like that, and kind of does it. Not to say he's like nihilistic about it, but he's not like out here. You know what I mean? Like savior complex type thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know what the fuck it could be personally. I feel like we don't even have enough to really have a good guess that I could feel solid about. So I don't know, but I don't really have a guess. But I want to say that when Luffy mentions that he told Ace, Sabo, and Shanks, I feel like there's like a bit of context hidden in that line, because he mentions that Shanks laughed so hard that he cried. Mm-hmm. But low key, I feel like it's like a coded way to say it, that Shanks obviously laughed, he found it funny, but he was like so moved by it, and the fact that he heard Roger say it, that he shed tears of emotion rather than just laughter.
I think that we might actually be breaking something, because if putting everything that we've just said together, right? Let's say that Luffy realized his dream before he ate the fruit, and then told Shanks his dream. Shanks was moved so much by this dream, and knowing that he had the Nika fruit, he decided to entrust it in Luffy.
Yep.
To fulfill this dream and, you know, become the head of the next generation or whatever. That's actually really crazy. If we put everything together that's been said today, that's a pretty solid theory. I can't lie.
Yeah, seriously. And then Shanks is on the move to get the One Piece. You know, you feel like that might like tie into whatever Luffy's dream is, or something.
Man, I have no idea what the fuck Shanks wants.
I think it might be a way to guide him. To be honest, like, you know, like. All right,
like he's gonna put himself on the path or something like that, like
exactly, for it. And then it gives Luffy the competition to get there or something like that. But in a way, he's actually just guiding him where he needs to get to.
Let's. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because Shanks been there from the beginning with Luffy. You know what I mean? So through it all, he's been there.
Yeah, if anyone's with him, it's definitely Shanks. After I called him evil in that one episode. All right.
I mean, I still believe he still has his own agenda. I mean, we just don't, you know. So
yeah.
Super interesting. But I love Luffy's dream. To me is one of the biggest mysteries to me in One Piece. So I this to me means we won't hear for a while. I'm not gonna lie. Like it'll be
it'll be a hot minute.
He's like, don't forget this happened, by the way, and then later on. But you know what? This is enough for me for now.
Yeah, this is gonna be some in-game type shit when his dream actually gets revealed.
Definitely.
Right.
All right. Let's keep. We still got a lot of chapter to go through. Let's get into the Navy HQ, Sabo, Imu, all the good stuff. So the Navy HQ intercepts the transmission that Sabo called to the Revolutionary Island chapter or two ago. They trace the position to Lulusia Kingdom, and from here we cut between the Gorosei, Imu, and the island that Sabo's on.
And the Revolutionaries.
Yeah, and the Revolutionaries. Yeah, talk to me, guys. How you guys feel? You know, one thing actually. So one thing that I do want to point out is that when the Gorosei find out where Sabo is, their comments make it seem as if it wasn't the destruction of the island wasn't to target,
was already planned.
Right. It wasn't to target Sabo. It was already planned.
Facts.
Definitely.
Yeah, talk to me, guys. How you feeling?
Bro.
We're talking about this whole thing up until the island situation getting obliterated.
Yeah, everything up to that point. It's a lot. I was gonna go through it all, but it's a lot. So.
So the first thing is this is small, but like they mentioned that he's not using a white snail to jam his call. You guys think it was desperation? Because there are some people that think that he was doing it on purpose so that the Marines could hear him, and he could reveal to them that Imu is there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's interesting. So even the Marines don't know about Imu.
The reason I'm not quick to believe it is because he really is desperate though, right? Like,
agree.
He doesn't have his resources that the revolutionaries could provide to give him a jammer. You know what I mean?
But the thing though, Sabo's always been a calculated dude, so I feel like he would have had the transponder still with him, and I feel like him doing this on purpose. Agreed, is desperation because he's on the run, but this using the regular transponder, knowing that the Marines on his ass, they could get that information. Yeah. Now it being cut was crazy. Like, so who do you think cut it? The Gorosei, right?
The Gorosei.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the thing was, it looked like they were planning on erasing Lucina before they realized that Sabo was on the island. Because they were like, because they were like,
he was there, and they were like, all right, let's get out of here.
That's fate, like.
Yeah, so like the thing is, I feel like that's definitely plausible that Sabo was intentionally leaking in order to expose Imu not just to the revolutionaries but even to the Marines. Because here's what I was going to ask y'all: do y'all think the world history of One Piece is taught that there's no king in the world?
Yes.
People know it's a symbol of power. Remember the reverie, right? Like when Stelly saw the empty throne, the guidepost was like, "Oh, this is the empty throne to show that there's no king, and all the countries live like they govern democratically, stuff like that."
Yeah.
It's definitely taught that way. Yeah.
So it's taught. So that's the world history taught to probably every aligned country with the Navy, at least.
Yeah, Sabo basically confirmed
with the world government. With the world government per se.
And that shit, if that shit got out, bro, that shit would do a whole bunch of damage to the fucking world government, or to the Gorosei, because I feel like Akainu doesn't know about Imu. You know what I mean? Like the Gorosei keep that separate from Akainu and the Navy and shit.
Here's what I'll say though, bro. I think this is an often, like me, I never noticed it until I read a post about it. So even when I reread the series, I didn't notice this line. When Doflamingo, he kind of cons Law by giving up his throne and then getting it back, or resigning from the Shichibukai or whatever the fuck it is. And so the newspaper goes out that he resigned, and then they come to Dressrosa, and he's still the king. And Law's like, what the fuck? And so Doflamingo, he used his ability as a social dragon to do that or whatever. But when Akainu gets mad at the Gorosei, he comes into their room and he says, "You're telling me that the orders to fuck with all that shit came from orders above you guys?" and they don't even answer him. They just say,
don't even
"Yo,
answer.
chill with the insubordinates," right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kanu even mentioned that, like, are you guys not the top dogs here? Like, did that, like,
Or is it someone else? Exactly. Yeah, and he's already questioning that. And once he finds out, once that shit comes out, that shit's gonna erupt, bro. That shit's gonna erupt.
Oh yeah.
And so here, like the Marines that were surveying the call, they only heard him say that what he saw happened in the throne room in Pangaea Castle, and then they cut it off. But the revolutionaries heard the ending, which was, I think he said, I thought there was no king in the world, but the empty throne wasn't empty, right? Callie, your webcam is off. By the way,
I just fixed it. I don't know what just happened.
But yeah, so the empty throne was not empty, right? That's what he said, and obviously, like, he gets cut there, but basically he said what he had to say. Like that's all you need to hear, right?
Right.
When someone says, I thought there was no king in the world, but the empty throne was an empty deck. Even if you don't hear the rest of it, the revolutionaries now know that the empty throne is not empty, and that what Sabo thought was that there was no king in the world, that was not the case. So the revolutionaries know now. I think, at least that's what I think.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
That's why Dragon's eyes, yo, at that time, like in that panel when Sab was talking to him, like, I don't know, he shows what I'm trying to say, like, he's
urgency, like
urgency, but he knows what's going on, like he's like confirmed.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is,
he got an exclamation point too.
But what I'll say here, though,
exactly.
Wait, but this kind of goes back to the 78 or 77 when Dragon says, if he killed King Cobra, I'm not gonna forgive him no matter what. Yeah. So Dragon here was waiting for this confirmation, I think.
Yeah.
Because Sabo speaks directly to him about that point. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what he was looking for. I don't think he was even prepared to hear something like that. There's a king in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is dude, this is a huge development. Like, this is an insane development that, like, now the revolutionaries are in the know that someone. Yeah. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And I wonder what Sabo was going to say too, because I mean, he made it clear that, Emu existed, or someone existed, not exactly Emu that Dragon knows or anything like that. But I wonder what Sabo saw in addition to that cut him off. Was it Emu's full face? Was it like what Emu had? Right,
So
shit's just crazy. Like,
it's crazy, and he also saw the murder of that, right?
Yeah, he knows who really killed Cobra.
Yeah. So I feel like when we get, I don't want to go to the end yet, so I'll bring it up later. But like, I think there's a lot of things that are starting to tie in because Jewelry
all
Bunny
coming
was
together.
Too.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys.
So,
but so the Lucia Kingdom, this King Seki and his daughter, I guess.
Yep.
So this is one of the 8 rebellion kingdoms that they mentioned in the chapter where they talk about the Flame Emperor. Like, they mentioned it off the fly. 8 rebellion kingdoms have, they start rebelling or whatever, and now we know one of them is, we know 7 now. There's not anymore.
And actually, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but this is actually the kingdom that Brownbeard evaded.
Yeah, this place has so much history. This place, you guys remember Bello Betty when she used her ability to empower the citizens, and they laid out that guy, Pinkbeard, actually.
Pinkbeard. What Pinkbeard?
Yeah, and she gives them the revolutionary card. She's like, "Yo, call us anytime. Like, the power's in the citizens' hands, not the government or whatever." So that's the same place, guys, that got bombed or whatever the fuck happened to them. So that's the same place, and there's more to this place actually. This place, if you guys remember Ace's cover story when he was chasing Blackbeard, he goes to a Marine base and he masquerades as a Marine for all. He even drinks coffee with them and everything, and that's because someone from the Lucia Kingdom, where he stopped by, a little girl called Moda, asks him to give a note to, I think, her father or something, to come home or something like that she misses him or whatever. And Ace goes to the Marine base undercover to deliver the letter. So that Moda and who we met, and Ace was here. I'm gonna send a panel.
Oh, that was the cover story. I actually do remember that.
I'm gonna send a cover page to the Strawhat Sitdown. Like, check this shit out. You guys are gonna flip when you see this picture. I think personally, at least, because I saw this shit and I was like, wait a second. Let me know when y'all looking at this, because I gotta talk about this now.
You sent it to Strawhat Sitdown?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Catch the thief that didn't pay the tab.
Bro, this is the Lucia Kingdom, okay?
Bro, and that looks like Luffy.
Look at what Ace's like position, like how he's moving. That doesn't look familiar?
Nah, that's crazy.
Oh, bro.
That's wild.
You know what 2782 is?
What?
That's in Skypea when Robin finds Chandora.
Yo, that's
Yo.
crazy.
And then we always knew, not always, but it's been pretty well documented at this point that there's huge parallels to Skypea, to
That's
you
where
know,
we first
the
see-
main
that's where we first
narrative
see
of the story.
Yeah, that's where we first see the Joy Boy picture, right? Where Luffy's dancing in the with the wolves and everyone. And that's where he does the pose. Like I think this is not nothing in my opinion.
And it is not a coincidence. I don't think there's a coincidence that Oda did what he did to the island, because to make the parallels, because you already know what I'm about to go say. Who else had a similar ability? NL, like when he destroys islands.
Yeah, that has to do with like the such dragons and the way they destroy. But I think this is a good. I think this isn't like, it's not like a confirmation or anything, but I think this is kind of like an indicator and like a little bit of like a side proof of the fact that Ace might have been the initial Nika Nika no Mi recipient. If Shanks, that's what Shanks was trying to do. Like,
Bruh,
he's doing the pose,
like
right?
I said, bro, I think that's why he went there.
Yeah,
like,
it might have been why he was in East Blue.
Because here's the thing. He probably went there, Roger said, I want my son to be the one to find...
Which would be whoever has Joy Boy's will, right?
And so he went there probably to find Ace, just like how, Garp went to where Ace was born to find him.
But Garp knew, yeah. So
yeah, but Garp knew.
Didn't know, so
yeah,
he tried to find him.
But maybe while Shanks was there, maybe he heard Luffy's dream and he was like, "Huh, you know what? Maybe it's not Ace.
Yeah,
maybe it's Luffy." And that's why he said, "I'm placing a bet on this new era," because it was probably prophesized for Ace, but Shanks is like, "You know what? I'm betting that it's not Ace."
Yeah, and I think I made this exact comparison before, but like it's like in Harry Potter, right? Where like it didn't have to be Harry to be the chosen one, right? It could have been someone else.
Yeah.
So it just happened to go that way, right? So it could be this exact same thing. So I think this is like a little bit. I know this is like a tangent, but this picture, in my opinion, is a bit of like a showcase that this Joy Boy thing in this picture, and we now have a tie to Ace with it because he's doing the fucking pose. And I refuse to believe that he shows it in Skypea. It's not a reference. So, but yeah, the Lucid Kingdom has a lot of history. Ace was there. Sabo was there. It's where the revolutionaries stepped in, and now it's destroyed. Also, not talking about the revolutionaries, I think that kind of goes to show that the revolutionaries empowering the citizens and making them rebel against the government or the royalty, that Loki got them destroyed.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's fucked up, but
I feel like the government, the Gorosei is trying to limit the revolutionaries like supplies and stuff. Like the army, like they're gonna be destroying those 8 kingdoms one by one.
People that rebel,
saying, hey, they never existed. They have no one to pull from, or not, or
do
to
you guys think
inspire.
I feel you. Yeah, it's they literally destroying any sort of like allies that the revolutionaries have. And do you guys think that it's just this one that they're fucking with, or do you guys think the all 8 of them are gonna be
I would assume it'd be all 8, but the thing is, here's my thing. So I was talking with some of the other guys in the other chat when the chapter first dropped, and Kite actually brought up some really good points. If Emu has had this ability, then why has he only used it now?
Yeah,
that's why I don't think it's an ability personally. I think it's an ancient weapon, and he's connected to it.
Right. So there's got to be some type of prerequisite or requirement, because otherwise he would have been just eliminating shit left and right, like anything that was an issue.
Yo, Callie, it's showing your Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh no!
Oh yeah, it is.
I was definitely dueling on the side.
Hey, I feel it.
Legend.
Yeah, no, but in all seriousness, I got a big theory.
All right, put it on.
And so, I think, for one, I don't think it's an ancient weapon, because if it was like, okay, you know what? I take it back. First of all, let me ask you. Do y'all think
walk back? What the fuck was that?
No. Because I realized. Because I realized I could see how someone could frame it as an ancient weapon only if they believe Island was not destroyed. Do y'all think it actually was destroyed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
You think
I see where
okay.
you're going. I see where you're going. I actually am
Yeah.
50-50 on if it's destroyed or not.
You think
Okay,
it might have been
okay.
teleported?
Okay, yes. My big theory is that the island was teleported, right? And I think that, for one, in the panel, we didn't see any destruction come from,
Like, I go to the thing. You can see the kind of like this, like the rubble and the tower is shifted. Like,
yeah, but like, I mean, like a big, like, you know what I mean?
like
Like
crater of sorts.
Yeah, like, yeah. So here's the
But
thing.
how would you see a crater if it's an island, bro? Like ocean's
and then-
What are you saying?
and
We haven't seen it. Okay,
That's why the water's
we haven't-
coming in and causing tsunamis, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But what? Okay, so let me, because my mind is racing right now. So yeah. So the thing is, like, let's say whatever, because visually, we can't always 100%, use a manga panel to say like, oh yeah, it's definitive because of these specific details here and there, when it'll be fleshed out in the anime. So whatever, but I don't think it was destroyed for more concrete reasons. For one, it's talking about erasure. Now, here's the thing. The government, when they talking about erasing stuff, yes, they have like destroyed things in the past, but we clearly saw what they used to destroy things, such as either a buster call, or it was always described that what destroyed things back in the day, out of all three ancient weapons, was always Pluton. Pluton was the destructive ancient weapon. That's the reason why you would go for it. This right here would be like, this is the same level, if not higher tier than Pluton. I'm just going to say right off the bat, because that was eviscerated in one shot. And if Pluton can do this, why would the world government need Pluton? Because they trying to get Pluton.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, well, actually no, because if it was Uranus, right? I think that if Uranus is the god of the sky, right? I think that, the island was most likely teleported of some type. Because another thing that I thought about, and this is something I don't know if y'all noticed, but do y'all remember back when Kaido was first introduced? What's his name?
Rouge?
Hawkins. No, Hawkins. Hawkins talked about, he heard stories of a legend of a monster that lived up in the sky. Now, here's the thing. We thought that he might have been talking about Kaido, but think about it. Kaido doesn't live in the sky. Like, he just fell from the sky, but he thought that might have been the monster that lived in the sky. And if you go back to this chapter, people were saying, there's something big in the sky.
Yeah,
If you up, like a shadow of some type. So I think whatever did this is a monster, or it could be Uranus, it could be the ancient weapon, but the ancient weapon is a monster that lives in the sky. Imu can tell to do things.
I think it's,
right?
I'm kind of thinking of it like one of the beasts in Breath of the Wild type of shit. You know what I mean? Like one of they're kind of like robotic, but they are sentient in some type of way, and that's why they need to be connected. Like the divine beast. There we go. That's what they are. And I could see, because I'm looking at the manga panel, right, and it does look like it's destroyed. But if you're going with the teleportation, if you're looking up, it could be all the shits being teleported upwards, right? The rubble piece by piece.
What I'll say is that, like that, because I'm just making like a comparison to what I think of when I think of like the like being like sucked upwards. It should be more of a continuous large stream of light coming down that would attract it. Right? These look like
bombardment.
Bolts.
I
Like
know.
lightning bolts almost, right?
No, I agree. I'm just saying, but like, just to go with what Wilmot's saying about the possible teleportation, though, like, 'cause I've seen, I see a lot of sci-fi shit. I've seen different teleporters. They'll teleport a place, but they'll teleport like piece by piece. You know what I mean? And then like when they get teleported back, they're
like
all
not all at once. Just
yeah.
Like it's like I know exactly what you mean.
And to continue. Oh, I'm sorry. There's
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
There's a little bit more to this theory, because I thought about this. Like, okay, and then another thing is we assume that this is what Emu and the world government did to erase also God Valley, right?
I definitely think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was thinking,
if they did the same thing to God Valley and potentially other islands or other places, like maybe where the old Lunarian island used to, or paradise used to be, and other places, I think all those places are, even if they're not in the sky per se or teleport to the sky, wherever they are, whether it's another realm of reality or some type of alternate, Earth or whatever it would be.
Void. You never know.
Another void or something.
Yeah.
They all are there, and people who live there, including other Lunarians, and if it's God Valley, most likely Rox D. Zebek is over there too.
Chilling, like an imprisonment. Kind of like motherfucking in DC, fucking the Phantom Zone with Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh shit, bro.
And the reason why I think that they will also come back into fruition is because it coincides with Nami's dream. Nami's dream is to create a world map, right? Yeah. What type of world map would it be if there were places that aren't there? I mean, we see that Eni's lobby got a hole of some sort, and that hole most likely was a previous island or a previous country or something like that, right? That belonged to someone important, whether it was the old God Valley or or somewhere important, right? I think those places, if Emu's defeated, or whether this is Emu's exact ability or this is Uranus in the form of the sky monster or whatever it is, whatever triggers it, they could reverse it and bring all the islands back, and Nami can complete the world map like that.
Yeah, what if she noticed as she's completing it, she notices gaps, and then you know what I mean,
yeah.
Also, it goes to show you because it just hit me. What if? All right, let's say we go with the teleport, right? They wanted this island off the map, but not destroyed. Meanwhile, fucking O'Hara, they wanted that bitch destroyed.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
they can do a buster call to an entire island if they want to.
It's true.
Yeah. And Pluton is the destruction weapon of the ancient weapon. So if you think that this is a result of an ancient weapon and not Emu's ability, you Pluton would be null and void then. If Uranus could do this,
would Pluton be null and void though? Because at the end of the day, it's limited to the fact that it's a ship, though, right?
What's the ship to a sky though? A ship has to travel.
That's what I'm saying though. Isn't that? Because here's what I'll say about the ancient weapon part. If you look at the picture Mr. dropped in the Strawhat Sitdown chat right now a little bit ago, that there's the panel of when Enel is looking at the hieroglyphs from the moon. That there's the picture of the ship. There's some sort of monster underneath the ship, and there's a satellite in the air above the three races of the moon people. People suggest that one above with the 16 prongs is this thing because of these 16 lightning bolts, Doflamingo's 16 holy bullet move, right? So the reason I think that it wouldn't be null and void is that the Lunarians used to live on the red line, right? That's 50 meters above. That's 50,000 meters above water level. What good is Pluton there, right?
Yeah, but overall, right? If Pluton is the destruction island, even if there's some spots that it couldn't hit, a sky island per se, right? I don't know if Pluton can shoot up.
I think there's a reason for all of the
three of them. Yeah.
Three of them, they're supposed to represent land, air, and sea, right? I'm sure there's certain stipulations that benefit one that doesn't benefit the other. Otherwise, like you said, there wouldn't be a reason.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I just don't think it would completely make it null and void. I do think though that there is a redundancy in the ability to destroy things. Why wouldn't they just use Buster? I completely agree with you.
Right, yeah, a Buster Call plus Pluton plus Shirahoshi. She's the sea, right? And the fact is that the ship is against land. This is sky, or if this is Uranus, it should be sky based, which clearly you see it coming from the air or something. Like I said, it could be the monster, the lurking monster that Hawkins was talking about. If Emu represents Uranus, he might, or she themselves might be Uranus, and they could control whatever sky monster or whatever. I don't think that they need Pluton or a Buster Call if they could just Emu could just add a beck and call, just do what destroy the like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think that this is an erasure via teleportation or like interdimensional or some type of like shift plane of another like realm or something like that.
And that also goes to show Oda's like progression in the story, because like now we're getting into time, space, type of shit. You know what I mean? So like
and those are
definitely, damn, you getting me, man. You getting me.
Yeah, and think about this. Think about it. We're endgame now. If you look at other series like Naruto and stuff like that, where their endgame characters have powerful time, space manipulation, teleportation, all this craziness. It would not be past me if this is either Emu's ability or the ability of whoever controls Uranus or Uranus itself. You know what I mean? Like one of those three. Mm-hmm. So, and this is why I think they got teleported too, because it coincides with the thing of allowing Nami to be able to write the world map. The world map will be incomplete if all these places that were teleported away were gone and stuff. And there's actual landmarks like Enies Lobby's hole and stuff that has gaps, natural gaps that should be filled. I feel like it makes sense if they can come back some type of way, whether it's by Emu's defeat, Uranus defeat, someone getting Uranus and flipping the switch and be like, hey, bring that stuff back or whatever. The Lunarians could come back and other beings. And we could get Rox D. Zebek back in the story, potentially. This could be a brilliant way to write, because the government Oda already established way early on that that God Valley was gone by erasure. So this could be a brilliant way for Oda to get Rox D. Zebek back into the story, even though he might be old or whatever.
But he's still like seen as like the big bad though. You know what I mean? Like he's still like a big bad guy to fuck with. So that would cause people to join forces, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe this is Oda's brilliant way of showing us the true final villain, which is Rox D. Zebek or something like that.
Don't be cocky, bro.
That's crazy.
That is, I think there's a lot. I think you have a lot of great points. Like I do think the redundancy of a destruction ancient weapon is a really good point. But yeah,
I do real quick. I do want to take that just a tiny step further, because I do think that it's interesting how they say. I don't know if I am looking into it too deep, but I like the wording that they use. They say that the country never existed, right? Yes. Now, for a country to never exist, it would mean that nobody would have known it existed in the first place. So, did people know about Lulusia before this event, or
I'm assuming
it was a regular country, right?
Yeah,
but it was a prominent country. Right. Yeah, they were a part of the Reverie. They're a prominent country.
So if we're assuming that it literally means never existed, are we assuming that there's also some memory features to this?
Some fucking Men in Black shit.
Where like everybody gets hit with this beam and forgets about. So like you said, they've been teleported, right? But they've also been forgotten about.
That'd be crazy.
Right from people's memories,
which
would coincide with wiping God Valley, why nobody remembers something like that, and et cetera, et cetera.
The only reason I don't agree, I don't think that's the case, is them saying Sabo-kun at the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
I think Callie is saying that it completely like destroys everyone's memory of it. But like, I think what would make sense is that if it's like, well, yeah, I guess the revolution. I was gonna say like the reason, like, because I was gonna bring up that Sengoku and Garp remember rocks,
right?
But then I was thinking, he probably means like regular ass niggas,
right?
And not marine affiliated people. But yeah, that is a good point. The revolutionaries do remember Sabo, and so does Luffy, and so yeah.
Wait. Maybe there's some stakes in Callie's theory though. What if it's only people that are native to that island that they forget about? You know what I mean? Like
only people that live are like citizens. That's a very technical ass power if that's the case.
So kind of like,
but that's why
Sugar with the toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Existed.
Yeah, because think about it like this: they have to pay a monthly tribute. to the world government, right? What if to pay that? What are the prerequisites to paying that monthly tribute? Does anyone know? No. Like, do they potentially have to sign over full citizenship? Like just give over a list of their citizens, and maybe that is how, if this is Emu's power or this is the power of Uranus, that could be how it works. Like if you're in contract, that's some
next level shit, bro.
Yeah, like
that's some
the reason why Emu also wants a monthly tribute, not because of the money, but because he can control them. He can, if you sign a contract with Emu, he can rain down on you that power, whatever it is. Like, and maybe that's the reason why he does the monthly tribute thing, and maybe that's why he's antagonistic to people who don't sign over, like Wano. Because he don't get any control over them, and it's not about the money, because they got plenty of money. They don't even they got the celestial dragons. The celestial they so rich, they're not pressed about money. I know if Emu, like if there was an island that said no, we don't want we're fine, we don't need y'all, that would get him mad, not for the money, but because he doesn't have control over them, and that could be the reason why. Like so he can't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Bro,
so if crazy, bro, Oda's ridiculous. Like just the paneling, just that panel with the explosion and like Sabo's face and shit, like that shit.
I like Sabo's face when he's talking to Dragon too, like a bit above this, where he's telling him I didn't kill Cobra. Like, dude, Sabo is like stressed right now, bro.
No, so I was
it's
going
dark
to
and
ask,
gritty. I love it.
I was gonna ask if y'all thought that he was dead, but like now with the whole teleportation thing, because I don't know, for Sabo to be dead. R.I.P. Brooklyn. Oh, Cali.
I gotta state though, I'm not personally with the teleportation theory, but it holds a lot of water that it's not a destruction thing.
It's really crazy. He pops up, you know.
Because we don't think Sabo is dead. I don't know if it wasn't teleportation. I don't know how he would survive that.
I don't know, but yo, what I'll say is that like there's two things, right? Is that that if an attack actually could hurt him, it would have to have Haki.
Yeah.
So the blast itself wouldn't kill him. I mean, unless they keep Haki on this level, we're all fucked. But second is that even if the ground below him is destroyed, like I guess he can still fly. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's One Piece. Even if they destroy this island to dust, I would still believe he didn't die. Like,
all right, well, me too. I hope so.
Yeah, no cap, bro. Like there's no way.
I feel like there's no reason for him to die here. Like,
yeah,
it would be an insane level of like holy fuck. But they just hyped him up as a symbol, right?
Right. I feel like it would have an impact on the story, but it wouldn't have meaningful impact. There wouldn't be reasoning behind his death.
Agreed.
If he died here in this moment right now, you know what I mean?
I think
I
was gonna say something, but it's kind of escaped me as I speak, so
like
somebody else can go. I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
I would just say, yeah. I mean, either way, no matter what you think, I think that like we all agree that Sabo isn't dead from this.
No
like,
way.
Not at all.
The island, whether the island was destroyed or teleported away, Sabo isn't dead. Like as long as we got that out the way, I think like anything is plausible, like destruction, teleportation, and all that other stuff. But I don't. This was just wild, like just crazy to see when you first see this. Like, geez, Otis, like holy we shit, are really at endgame. We are truly at endgame here.
It's getting real. It's definitely getting real.
I thought Oda was gonna end the chapter here on this panel.
Me too.
Yes, bro. But then he fucking added some more.
This chapter was so long,
it
bro.
was mad long.
We haven't even talked about the last segment yet.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well get into it now, unless you guys got any more.
I didn't really have too much to say, but that shit is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, crazy. All right, so we're back on the Thousand Sunny. A few days later, they're somewhere in a winter climate. They run into what do they call it? An eddy. I've never heard of an eddy before this. I don't know if
Me
you guys
neither.
have. So
Me neither.
I think that's like a not a folklore, but like a legend type thing about
like a sailor type thing.
Yeah, a sailor. What is it called again?
A myth or a sailor. A
myth, like some type of like that's like a sailor story or something like that. Eddy or something like that.
All right, so how did you perceive this? Is this like a ball of water stuck together above the sea, like
It's kind of like
Yeah.
Aang, when Aang is in the frozen
Yeah,
ice.
Exactly.
I think
Okay.
it's like, well, okay, I think Aang was fully in ice, but I think
Yeah.
the inside
Using
was
frozen
because
ice.
otherwise body wouldn't be able to breathe.
right,
So yeah, it's just water, like, literally a circle, like a balloon. It's like
circular
a
balloon of water. Okay. So we don't know how this thing got here or how it's created, but the Straw Hats run into it.
No.
Luffy senses somebody in the water.
Multiple
Yep.
things for sure.
Right. Zoro slices it open, and it turns out to be Jewelry Bonnie as a kid.
Yep.
And her
Uh,
bounty went up.
Questions, yo. So many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
questions.
her
her
bounty is
bounty go
320 million now.
Yeah, her bounty went up.
okay, cool. So what do you guys' thoughts? First off, I'm happy to finally see this bitch because it has been about
A minute.
5 arcs, 500 plus chapters, and we have only seen her but for a few pages. So it's nice to finally see her and see what she's actually about. We can also assume that Arouge is going to be involved in this arc at some point.
100%, 100%.
You know, they're pretty much a pair.
I think it's huge. I think it's huge. I think it's
Definitely.
interesting that she's here because like the red line where Marie-Joise is like almost on the other side of the Grand Line now. Like they've got to like from the beginning of the story they went down the Grand Line, the red line where Marineford and Marie-Joie are.
Right.
They go underneath the Fishman Island, and now they're like almost near the other red line on the other side of the world, right? So she is like she was on the other side of the world almost, right? Like just a few weeks ago, and now she's here. I think that's that's kind of interesting.
I think it was on purpose. You never know.
Maybe, yeah. And so I have no idea. I have a theory which I'll come into a little bit, but I think it's super interesting that she's here. She is like I think she's like a super important character for the whole story because that she was in the Reverie and she
Exactly.
she also
saves.
she saves Zoro, but she stops Zoro from attacking the Celestial Dragon in Saboti, so she's not dumb. And also she obviously has a grudge against Celestial Dragons for what they did to Kuma. Or well, I should say Vegapunk. And obviously they had him as a slave and shit. So yeah, so I think it's super interesting. And yeah, also I think one of the reasons that she's here right now is Kuma was there, so maybe he uses his ability. And we said in a few episodes ago he still has the ability to use his ability because he used it in Marineford. So
That's true.
he might have teleported her somehow.
Her appearance here, yo, like I think she was there, and I think she might have saw what happened to Cobra also. So I think
I could do that.
Because I mean, we know the last time we saw her, she was at Reverie. She's trying to save Kuma.
Yep.
And that's what Sabo was trying to do too. And I
Yep.
think she was there, and someone put her in this state because she should have been dead, bro. Like,
Right.
and with the fucking devil fruit and like in water like that, there's no way she lived. Like,
I could definitely agree with that. It's definitely helping her in some way.
right?
Nick brought up a good point that that Oda actually takes the time to explain the context of what an eddy is, at least in One Piece universe, how it's created. So a massive warm water is being forced up at this point from somewhere.
There's something underneath the water?
Something underneath the water is pushing this upward. Whether it's a current or something from a devil fruit or something, animal or something, I don't know.
What if it was fucking Sabo to save her, to get her out of there? Because he could create the warm mass, right? With his fire.
Lunisha?
No. I think this happened before he got to Lulicia. I think because remember they were both at Reverie together. Yes,
and then this eddy's just been floating around the Grand Line. The one thing that would make me disagree with that is what YHuss said before. Where they're at right now is damn near on the other side of where the Red Line is.
Good.
So from here to get from there all the way to here, it took the Straw Hats.
And they were above Marie-Joie. They were on 50,000 meters above the sky, above the sea level, if they met, or wherever they met. So yeah, I don't know, but I think it's kind of mysterious that she's here. I'm glad she's here. We know that her ability is to change people's age.
Yeah.
Some people said that because she was in water, and clearly she I think she's coughing up water, so she must have been unconscious, or like drowning or whatever. So people think that this is her real form because her devil fruit would have not taken effect. But I don't think that's the case because Luffy could stretch underwater. Or I think she's also a different type of paramecia because she does.
Yeah,
That's in the water.
They brought this up in Arlong Park.
You're right.
But also, but I think it's just not the case because she might be a different type of paramecia where she puts effects on things. It's not like she isn't permanently rubber like Luffy is permanently rubber, she isn't permanently her devil fruit. She just has that. She just put that effect on her for now, and she can change it at will. I think. I don't think this is a case of her being a kid. Like I don't really think that's the case at all. I just don't know what people are talking about. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think that like I agree with what YHuss said. Like Luffy, for one, he can stretch underwater. If like not just at Arlong Park, but in Fisherman Island arc, he literally knocked out the Kraken by stretching underwater. He fought Horty Jones underwater. Like he can stretch underwater.
No, but that was with the bubble thing though. No.
Yeah, but his arms were still out there.
His arm through the bubble.
Okay.
And in fact, he even commented, said like, because I'm in water, my arm is weakened or whatever, you know. So he can do it. It's just if his whole body is submerged in water, like his body can still do it, but he can't consciously do it. If he's like in the air bubble, he can pull his arm out, but like he wouldn't be as strong, but he can still do it. So it'd be the same case with like Jewelry Bonnie or any other, devil fruit user.
Right.
But honestly, this is crazy because she's the gateway to so much info for the Straw Hats to get.
Yeah.
That the story can go in literally any direction because of her.
Like, that's what I keep thinking about in this, because like you said, she has so much information.
Like, yeah.
And she's gonna be from what we know, she's gonna be with them for a while now.
Yeah, she's definitely stuck with them now, at least until the next island. Because where else is she gonna go?
Right.
I'm interested to see the dynamic because we've seen her. I wouldn't say she's evil,
prickly.
but yeah, it's weird the way her like attitude and her personality. So
I think she's neutral. I think she's just neutral.
I'm excited to see her interaction with Luffy and eating, bro, because she's gonna eat all his shit. And Luffy's gonna be
They're gonna have an eat off. That's gonna be bad.
Sanji's gonna be happy to feed her.
She's gonna love Sanji, because Sanji's gonna be like, "Of course I'm gonna make you food." Like,
that'll be fun.
You know,
like she's probably just like Luffy in the sense that like when she gets on the boat, she recovers and she was like, "I need meat," and then Luffy's like, "What?" Like,
Jewelry Bonnie
brings up a very interesting theory that I saw a while ago. I think I talked to you guys about this before, but I remember seeing on Twitter a couple months ago about people were talking about that Jewelry Bonnie could be Luffy's mom.
What?
Like,
oh no.
Yeah, that sounds like mad nonsense.
I mean, it could be nonsense. I just thought it would be funny to think about. They both eat a lot. They both have like a very similar attitude. She can alter her age,
Yeah, I'll tell you why that's not the case. Because in the Reverie, they show us two things. They show us Kuma and Bonnie, like they reintroduce us to us, and when they show them, they show their titles. We learned that Kuma was the king of a place called the Sorbet Kingdom, and I think we learned that they show Bonnie in her old form when she slips past the guards. And they reveal her to be the Queen Dowager of the Sorbet Kingdom. And when they say Dowager, it just means the widow. So
and Kuma was the king. No?
And Kuma was the king. So I think they're implying that.
I didn't even catch that.
They're implying that Kuma was
so that they both
was her husband,
at one point.
And they both ruled that kingdom.
I never even noticed that, bro.
I never caught that.
This whole time I was trying to figure out the connection between Bonnie and Kuma, and it was literally right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's why when Cal, you said like we don't know like her disposition. I think she's like I think she's Jake said Kuma was her nigga. Exactly, bro. But I think like she cried, right? She was crying when she saw him. Like I don't think she's evil at all. I think she's prickly. I think she's probably has her guard up and everything, but like she does. I think she'll be a real one. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro,
she's just neutral. Okay. I think she's just neutral. She showed she helped out Zoro when she really didn't have to.
She did not. I think neutral is like not even fair. I think she's like a good person.
When did she help Zoro?
Yeah, okay, she could be good. She could,
we have no reason. I'll say we have no reason to think she's a bad person.
Wait, what happened in Saboti?
Zoro was gonna smoke the Celestial Dragon before Luffy did. Like it was like not in that moment.
Yes, and then
but it was when he was walking around and she acted like she was his her sister, and like she poured like ketchup on him or something.
Wait. Nah, she's neutral, bro. Yeah. She's neutral.
What did she do? I don't remember. Like, let me know. I don't remember doing anything crazy.
Cause here's the thing. Think about it. Zoro was I forgot like Zoro was not in trouble. That celestial dragon was going to get smoked. She did that to prevent the admiral from coming.
Oh no, I wasn't saying she's good for that. No, I know. She was saving herself from what was going to happen.
Doesn't this mean we'll get more info on Blackbeard too? Because didn't Blackbeard pull up on Bonnie at one point?
Yes.
Yeah,
She pulled up on him and got her ass beat.
And I kind of captured her.
Yeah, and somehow she got out.
Yeah.
Bro,
Wait, is that what she was so much?
Wait, is that what she was in Marijua? She escaped somehow and got to the
Probably.
So you think she
What
was
if she
from
got
getting
captured on
captured?
purpose?
She got captured on purpose.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like maybe,
Holy
like
shit.
yeah.
Maybe
she's out
slightly.
here. That's
Like
sick.
because Blackbeard was trying to get that boat, right? And like they pulled up on Jewelry Bonnie, and Akainu came, they ran, but that's why Akainu got Jewelry Bonnie, right?
Yeah.
And it she dipped from maybe Marijua or whatever prison system.
Yeah,
or
whatever. Like she might have escaped on purpose. She might have turned into a kid She might have turned into a kid so that her body mass shifted and she get out of the ropes or something like that. Like it could be anything, bro. Like so, I do think that's a possibility. But man, another thing is that after Marineford, she was looking at the paper and she was crying, and she said it's all because of that guy. And then afterwards, she goes after Blackbeard. So something Blackbeard did,
pissed her off.
And I assume it has to do with Kuma. Just that's my only assumption. Like that's the only connection I can make. But I don't know what the hell Blackbeard has to do with that.
Maybe Whitebeard, like taking Whitebeard's power or some shit like that.
I don't know.
You never know.
We might finally know.
You know what? After this discussion, I am a lot more excited to see what Jewelry Bonnie has to hold.
Dude, she is such an interesting character, bro.
Yeah, when I first read the panel, I was like, it's cool. I'm intrigued. But now thinking about everything that she knows and how she's gonna reveal information and interact, I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm very
excited.
It's
gonna be hilarious because she's just gonna be turning like Zoro and Sanji into babies when they fight or some shit. Like
people say that's what Law did to the Straw Hats. So like this is what we're gonna see kids Zoro and shit like that.
Fucking Straw Hats or old ass Straw Hats, like like she turns Luffy into an old man, so she goes and eats all the food or some shit like that, bro.
Yeah, the possibilities are actually endless, but fucking insane, bro.
Yeah, Jewelry Bonnie will definitely make the next chapter incredibly interesting. Like,
and not just that though, fucking Chopper and Luffy got blown away.
We didn't even mention that shit.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. So they were trying to. Chopper came out with his cute little umbrella hat.
He was dripped out, bro. He was like,
my boy Chopper was dripping.
He got blown away. Luffy tries to catch him, gets blown away.
He said,
they get blown towards Bonnie, right? Is that what's happening? So the next time we see them, it'll probably be all three of them drenched and on the deck.
Because they're all double fruit users.
Because they're all gonna be like
Jinbei,
yeah, they have to go out. They have to save them.
Yes, they're definitely gonna go get saved, 100%.
And this is why I love the fact that they got Jinbei now, because Jinbei.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're just gonna flex Jinbei on this one.
Yeah, like Jinbei's just gonna get them super fast or like something like that. Like, bro,
something I wanted to say was that we talked about how earlier in like the beginning of the chapter it was sick to see the Straws interact. I think this is like my favorite interaction we've gotten of them like since Wano, because like it reminds me of the like chaos that happens in the beginning of every new arc. Like just some crazy shit happens and they all have to deal with it in their own ways, and like it reminds me of two things. It reminds me of like the biggest one is when the ship falls in the beginning of Jai, it falls from the sky and they're like, yo, what the fuck? And also when I think one of the funniest chapters to me, or like chapters when they're all going through Skypiea and all the monsters are and the insects are crawling around and everyone's so scared and they're all reacting to all like the shit's going around all around them. So I think the chaos reminds me of the real Straw Hat crew interactions where shit is just hitting the fan and they're like, yo, what the fuck do we do? So yeah, I love personally this part of the chapter. It felt so Straw Hat-esque.
Yeah, it definitely did. This was definitely great. The beginning and this part is definitely primetime Straw Hat shenanigans and stuff. It's great.
3 insane chapters in a row, dude.
Yes.
Bro, seriously. And next chapter is going to be insane, too.
Yeah, I was just telling somebody that now that we're in the end game, I think all the chapters from here on out, like, it's going to be really hard to have... I really don't think we're going to get a point of slowing down, at least for a very long time.
I think this is what
I think this is... And especially, like, the Robin thing, like, okay, that's enough for the news. It's like... Now we're gonna focus on the Straw Hats and their particular journey in this next island or whatever. But yeah, we will see.
Yep. Shit is definitely getting real. Any last question, comments, concerns before we wrap it up?
Nah.
I think that's it.
No.
Chilling, yo.
Yep.
All right. W chapter, W review, W Straw Hat Sit Down episode.
Let's go.
Appreciate everybody that hung out with us today, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream on Twitch. Hope you guys, shouts to everybody that's watching on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. We appreciate all of you guys. No break next week, right?
No, sir.
No break again. We will maybe be back. Possibly. I might not be back because I'm gonna be in Florida.
Oh yeah, I see Otaku, right?
But if these guys want to kick it off, they might take my place for the one time. I would not be upset. We'll see what happens, right?
Okay.
You guys follow the Twitter, twitter.com/Straw Hat Sit Down for all the updates, so you know when we're live, when we're not, who's streaming, this, that, and the third. Greatly appreciated. And yeah, this is Straw Hat Sit Down. Till next time. I'll take it easy, be safe, be healthy. We appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.
Happy birthday, baby.
Peace, guys.
WWW.
Later, guys. Amazing.
Super
amazing
fun,
chapter.
Good shit. So I'm gonna be in Florida next week. So I don't. If you guys want to run it through Mister, I won't be upset because I won't be back until like Monday night. So.
I'm down to do it Tuesday night because if it's a crazy chapter, like, bro.
Yeah, if it's a crazy chapter,
I don't want everybody there.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like this is gonna be the last chapter before a break, right? So, I definitely would want everyone to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
He's actually, you're right. I think so. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Good luck at See You Talk, Kelly.
I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. Good luck to you, bro.
Gotta cook up.
All right, catch you later.
All right, guys.
Later, bro.
Peace.
Later.
W episode. W.